How we doing? We're back late night stream. I'm supposed to go live early. You guys probably all saw it there, but we're here. We're about to preview the Packers game. Just go over whatever I want to talk about here in this stream. Um, and yeah, get ready for this win on Sunday against the Packers. Um, get y'all flooding here a little bit here soon, but yo, let me know if the mic sound good. Let me know if the mic sound good. All good with the mic. All good with the mic. Make sure all y'all coming in. If it's mic is bad, let me know. There's a lag. We're about to head into the Packers preview, man. That's the stream today. We're gonna head into the preview for the Packers. Talk about whatever I want to talk about. Chuba and Rico do mid-season review. Mid-season grades. My mid-season grades on second and first year players. What's up, Caleb? What's up, son? All right. Let's get this dub on Sunday. By the way, happy Halloween. Hey, happy Halloween to all y'all. Let's get this dub on Sunday for show. It's time. It's time. This is going to be the first big game we win all year. Obviously, our wins have been against pretty mediocre teams looking at it, but it's time to get this W. What's up, Trizzy? How you doing, man? Ready to get this dub on Sunday as well. All right, so first things first, there's some news that came out earlier today. As I made the stream, I was out all day. That's why I didn't go on stream earlier like I was supposed to. My bad on that. But it looks like Rico Dowdle is going to be the primary back on Sunday. I kind of want to discuss that. I want to be the back, more this Sunday as that conversation has been going on the past couple of weeks. It seems like Rico Dowdle is going to be the book carrier on Sunday. Let me pull it up for you guys real quick. Per Joe Person. So let me see. Let me pull it up for you guys real quick. Let me pull it up for you guys. All right. Cool. All right. Rico Dowdle is going to be the bulk carrier on Sunday. All right. I know we discussed this last Sunday when we lost, kind of what we should do there at running back. It looks like Rico Dowdle is going to get most of the carries. I like this decision because Rico's been the bulk carrier, has been doing kind of the best in terms of running the football the last couple of weeks. He deserves this spot at running back, I think, just given the opportunity, okay? And I kind of thought about it because Chuba Hubbard, running backs, honestly, in this league, they don't last very long. And we know this, like they're a year-to-year position, unless you're like a Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey. If you're healthy, you're really a year-to-year type back. Rico Dowdle was reminding me of just Devontae Foreman, for example. Like, is he going to resign here? I don't know, because if we have Chuba Hubbard on that contract, there's a chance that Rico Dowdle does not resign, even if he comes out here and gives 1,000 yards and he's the main back for the rest of the season. There's that realistic possibility that Rico Dowdle is not doesn't get re-signed. Like, I think that's a very, very big possibility when it comes to Rico Dowdle. And then Chuba Hubbard, obviously, if you don't resign Rico Dowdle, it's because Chuba Hubbard's going to be your back. But I think there's a chance that we also trade Chuba. If Chuba ends up not producing and Rico is ending up being gets more and more carries by the week, there's a chance that Chuba gets traded as well. Like, this is a position that we don't see. It has a lot of layoff every single season. Okay, like there's every team, unless you're Saquon Barkley and you're one of those type of players, the running back position is just not a position that you're going to be seeing, consistency every single season. Teams are going to switch, right? When we had Devontae Foreman in 2022, everyone thought he was going to be our back and we were going to re-sign him. He was going to be our future back. That's not what happens at the running back position. All right, it's just different. Okay, so I hope we beat Green Bay. My friend, Packers fan. Oh yeah, Listen, this is a big game, man. Big game. They only have one loss. It's gonna be big, but this running back position on Sunday is gonna be a big part of if we win or not, right? And I kind of thought about it today. Whenever I seen this, I was like, there's a legit possibility that we go into next season without Rico or Chuba Hubbard. And I think we all got to realize that there's a legit possibility that that's the case because Rico Dowdle, if he does end up with a great season, 1,000 yards again, he's going to be looking for a bag as he should. Okay. And if Chuba Hubbard, if he doesn't get carries and his carries start going down, for example, there's a chance that he's traded. All right. Because there's going to be a team out there that's going to want his $8 million contract for every, per season for 3 more years. There's going to be a team out there that looks at that contract and sees it as valuable because he's only making $8 million a year. And Chuba Hubbard's a great back. I'm going to say that right now. I think Chuba Hubbard's more talented than Rico Dowdle, just in terms of running the football. But this season, Rico's been the better running back. So why would you not start him? This makes sense. This decision right here from seemingly, I guess, the offense of Dave Canales, it makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay. But this is going to be a big part of the game on Sunday is the running game. Okay. Because the Bills running defense was not bad, it was terrible. They gave 5.8 yards per carry last week in the NFL, really by far last week, and we couldn't run the ball. Why? We got down and we had to throw the ball a lot. Rico averaged still about 5 yards a carry last week on the 8 carries that he did have on 52 yards, I'm pretty sure it was, if I can remember correctly. But it's going to be a big game, right? Chuba Hubbard needs to find a way to do his thing. Or if it's Chuba Hubbard as well, they both need to find ways to get the run game going. And obviously, Bryce Young will be back on Sunday. He was not limited to today in practice. He was full go, and on the injury report, wasn't even questionable. So Bryce Young will be the starter on Sunday as well for us against the Packers. So it's going to be a big game, man. The Packers are coming in top 10 on offense and on defense. They're 5-1-1 right now. They're one of the best teams in the league, one of the best teams in the NFC. Might be the best team in the NFC right now, maybe with the Lions at the moment in terms of just momentum. This is a big game. You're on the road. Bryce is back. Might be healthy. Obviously, you have injuries on the offensive line. It's just going to be a big game overall just to see kind of what we do there. But, yeah, so this is a big game. Like, if we can win this game, it's going to be big because of the fact that, as I stated before, this is arguably the best team we're facing all year so far. And I feel like all the good teams that we face, especially the top heavy teams, the 4 losses besides the Cardinals, were all good teams, great teams, really. The Bills, the Patriots were top teams in the AFC. And then you also lost to, what was the other team? The Jaguars, who they're mid, okay? But you still have not, I think, in the terms of your 4 wins, beat 8 teams in the league. I think this is going to be just a big game to set the tone, prove yourself in the NFC, and maybe take that leap as you want to with Bryce back in the fold. So I started T-Mac this week. I always had to started him, but points been limited. He got 13 last 3 times. Are we going to compete? If yes, then I'll continue to start him this week. It's hard because I feel like T-Mac's he's been very inconsistent in fantasy. And honestly, just in general, he'll pop off for 100. He has the ability, obviously, we know, to get 100 yards a game, get a couple touchdowns. This game, I do think we're going to need him to pop off, especially if XL's out on Sunday. Obviously, XL to me isn't really going to be much of a factor, just my opinion. But when it comes to T-Mac, yeah, I think you should start him low-key. I do, because of the fact that especially if Xavier gets out, no matter how much I think he's going to make an impact or not, he is your second receiver at the moment in terms of snaps. And if T-Mac, if XL is out, T-Mac is going to make a big impact against he's going to have to make an impact against the Packers, I should say, if we want to win this game. Okay, but it's hard because, and also the Packers have a very good offense. They have one of the best just offenses in the league. If this is going to be a shootout, Bryce is going to have to throw the ball downfield unless Rico just goes off for 200 yards again. But let's not act like the Packers defense line is bad at all. They're top 10 in offense and defense this year. So yeah, I think when it comes to T-Mac, you could start him. I think that's I don't know who your other receivers are. If you let me know that, then I'll probably be able to help, kind of let you know there. But T-Mac's going to have a good week, I think, this week in fantasy. I think he's going to have at least 50 yards, might have a touchdown. That's going to be pretty good in terms of fantasy points. But if you have guys like, Justin Jefferson, who is he competing with right now in terms of that flex spot, that last starting receiver spot? Because, If it's someone that I think is better, then probably not. But T-Mac's going to have a big week this week, I think. I think he's going to have a good week. I don't think he's going to have 30, 40 yards. I think he's going to be at least 50. Might have a touchdown there as well because we're going to need it against this Packers team. I'm 6-2, but like the guy I'm going against, his team is stacked. Yeah. It just depends on your other receivers, I think, and just your other players in that flex spot who you would kind of compete for that last spot to put in your starting lineup. Then maybe, but T-Mac's gonna have a big week, and he's gonna have to, right? But what else? I want to see the Packers honestly in terms of NFL rankings and just. Because we know they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league with Jordan Love. He's been that consistently, and this year he's remained that. I mean, the Packers right now, they are, what is that? That is 7th. They're the 7th best team on offense so far this season. Let me pull it up for you guys right now so you guys can see what I'm seeing as well in terms of the offense and defensive stats overall. For the Packers. So you see the Packers right here. They're 7th. As you can see, they're averaging 359 yards per game. The Panthers are down here at 316. So again, the Panthers offense has not been bad this year, thanks to really the run game. Really, is keeping it. And Bryce just being that, good game manager, being consistent, just making the plays that he needs to make. But they're 7th on offense. I'm pretty sure they're top 10 on defense as well. I mean, yeah, they're sitting pretty at 6 right now, only giving up 289 yards per game. And in terms of rushing, they're only giving up 78 yards per game on the ground. That has to be that's top 2 in the NFL right now. With what's next? No, that's with the Patriots. So you need for the Panthers, man. So, I mean, you're facing a really good team. And on defense, I mean, the Panthers are top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on total defense right now, which is a good thing. Obviously, we have to make plays on offense. This might be a shootout. It might not be. It just depends. I feel like the defense has enough to contain it. Obviously, the Packers don't really have a elite receiver right now. Obviously, Matthew Golden could turn into that one day. But right now, they don't have elite number 1. At the moment, obviously, they have a good running back. Okay, they're going to do their thing on offense. And obviously, when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, it doesn't matter. You're going to be able to make plays no matter your receiving core, really. You said Lab McConkey, Ward, okay, yeah. T-Mac and Romeo Duzay on flex and Josh Down on Colts Romeo. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you should definitely start T-Mac. Definitely. I think you should start Lad, start T-Mac, and then if you already have Romeo Duzay on flex, you're good there. So, you're good. Start T-Mac. I think T-Mac, potential-wise, he might be your best fantasy receiver. I mean, obviously, Lad is great as well on a week-to-week basis. But, yeah, I think T-Mac should definitely start. If that's how receiving core is looking, for sure, because he's just that good. I mean, he has potential, as we saw last week, to just get a touchdown there with 80 yards. That right there is a lot of points, and he has the potential every week to do that. So, all right, let me see. We're about to get into the my low grades on the rookies and second-year players here. Which he said Tucker Graf is going to be a problem. Yeah, it is. Tucker's very underrated as a tight end, and we've been so bad against tight ends this year. Like we try to put Trayvon on him a lot. That has not worked at all, to say the least. When it comes to guarding tight ends all season long, Trayvon's not been able to do that. We still do it. Lathan has been, I mean, you're going to see in my grades, Lathan's been very underwhelming in coverage, stopping the run, making tackles. He's just not been as good as I would hope. Coming in and being there for us at safety. I don't know who we're going to put on been the best cover guy on like tight ends. If he has to go out and guard a receiver, guard a running back, he's been solid when it comes to coverage. So it's going to be interesting how we scheme up Tucker Craft because tight ends have been our weak spot on defense. Really, like if there's a part of the offenses that cook us, it's the defense. It's the defense, or sorry, it's the tight ends, I should say, that really mess us up when it comes to what we have to contain, what we have to guard. It's the tight end spot all season long. We have not been able to do that. Should I start Jackson Darts against San Fran or Jay Daniels against Seattle? I think you should definitely start Jay Daniels because that game's going to be a shootout, man. It's going to be a shootout. Obviously, Jaden's coming off an injury. If he's healthy, you should start Jaden because, I mean, just like Lamar yesterday, they're both one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They're trying to get their team back on track. Jackson Dart's inconsistent because he's a rookie, so you never know. And I just don't know if I would I don't know if I would take Jackson Dart over Jay Daniels this week, especially because they're playing Seattle, and that game probably gonna be a shootout. Daniels is gonna use his legs a lot and just be that good of a quarterback this week, I think. So I would start Jay Daniels for sure this week. Jackson Dart's weird just because of the fact he's a rookie. He can be inconsistent, turnovers, right? Jay Daniels is not going to do that. He has legs as well that he can really use. Obviously, Jackson Dart's good in that area as well, but just consistency, give me Jay Daniels for sure this week, especially in those matchups. Let me see. All right, this is the fun part of the video we're about to do. Let me see. Trying to see. So we're about to do like my little grades. I'm trying to make sure I get the right ones up. I don't pull out the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm pretty much going to just be grading every single rookie and second-year player in A through all the way to C tier is what I'm going to do. So hold on 1 second. My bad for taking so long. We'll get this up. All right. Let me take this off. Okay. All right. Last one, he said Jackson averaged 21 fantasy points per game. The week before last week, he got 35. Can I trust Jaden off injury? Yeah, you can. You can. Are you talking about Jackson Darts averaging 21 a game? Jay and Daniels is going to be fine. Just because that game's going to be a shootout, I think he's going to use his legs a lot, and Lamar just came off injury yesterday and looked fine. I mean, he had like 85% completion percentage, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good. All right. Here are my little grades when it comes to the first year, second year players. So pretty much what I'm going to do with these, if you guys can see, I have 3 of them: A tier, B tier, C tier. I'm taking every first year, rookie, second year player and putting them in tiers based off this season, kind of mid-season report, kind of how our young players are doing at the moment through mid-season, okay, and just grading them based off the snaps they've gotten, just, watching film, watching games, what I think they've done so far with the snaps they've got, okay? The only 2 players I think are an A tier are T-Mac and Mitchell Evans, okay? There's an argument, I think, that you can put like Jimmy Horn in there, just because of the fact that Jimmy Horn, when he's been out there, he's been a different, playmaker. He's been getting open in the slot. Like he's been very consistent as a receiver as well. But I think T-Mac, that's a no-brainer. He has 500 yards on the season, 512, has 2 touchdowns right now on the season. He looks like an all-pro player. Like he's so good that T-Mac even doesn't like his stats right now. He has 500 yards as a rookie midseason, on pace for 1,000, and he doesn't like, what he has right now, which is fair. But these are only 2 players, and obviously Mitchell Evans for me is going to be in here as well, just because of the fact that when he's been out there, he only has 90 yards this year, but he only has 11 catches. So, 9 catches on 11 targets. So Mitchell Evans has been good by a long shot. Like when he's out there, the blocking is evident. He's just a different, in terms of physicality and as a receiver as well. Like he's only had 11 targets all season long, has caught 9 of them for 9. Or when he's out there, he's making plays. Okay. And he has 50% less snaps than JT, who currently at the moment as a second-year player only has like 111 yards receiving. So he's just a do-it-all tight end. I think if you put him out there, every week as a starter, he probably gets 500 yards this year. That's what I think. But I think T-Mac and Mitchell Evans for me are the only players in A tier, because I don't want to, give everyone A tier, for example. But T-Mac, there's really nothing to work on for him. Like obviously you can say a couple of drops early in the season, sure, but he has the size, he has the ability to get open, the separation, just everything, bro. Everything. Obviously, just reading defenses, getting open in zone coverages, all that. T-Mac has it all. That's why he's the A+. And then Mitchell Evans, obviously, receiving as a tight yards. When he's out there, he's making an impact. Mitchell low-key tight end of the future. I've been hyped about him since draft. Yeah. I think at this point we can all agree that he's probably tight end of the future. Just at the moment, just because of the fact that Mitchell Evans he's doing everything. When he's out there on the field, he's doing everything. He's averaging 10 yards a catch, only has 90 yards, but when you're out there barely and you're not really receiving the ball, it's really out there to block right now as a rookie, and you're still being impactful in the receiving game on a lot of clutch, plays. He's really making an impact right now in that area. All right, the next one is going to be B tier. There's a lot of players in B tier. Just going to be honest with you guys, which is a good thing, right? I think this is definitely the last 2 best drafts we've had in a while. Okay, there's so many gems like Mitchell Evans. Not a lot of people are going to know him, right? Like not a lot of people are going to realize how good he really is. And it's okay, right? It happens, but it's what happens, right? I mean, when you're that late of a draft pick, no one's going to know until you realize. I'm going to tell you right now, Mitchell Evans is that guy. All right. Here's B tier. We have 6 players in here. Okay. As I stated before, I think Jimmy Horn has a chance to be the argument to be in A tier as well, just because of the impact he's made. Just overall, when he's out there, is kind of what I'm trying to use this for. Trevor Wallace as well. He's a B+ for me. He could be an A- just because of the fact that the obvious upgrade that he made in the offseason after the first 2 games, for example. He's not a liability in coverage no more. He's very good, getting after the quarterback, stopping the run in terms of he's getting better at that. Okay, there's obviously stuff to learn from, which is why I did not want to put him in A tier, because I feel like watching film, him in zone coverage made him B tier. Last year, first year, he was easily a C-, D+. It was bad, but midway through the season, he's a B+ for me because of the fact that he's not a liability in coverage. Last year, he was so bad in coverage, easily the worst player on the field last year in terms of coverage. He's consistently, like last week against the Bills, we were so good at not giving up big pass plays on the field because of the secondary. Okay, and he was a big part in that. He was always covering the flats and covering the short passes. He's not a liability no more. And when it comes to going after the quarterback, we drafted him because of his athleticism, right? So we know last year he was even not bad at stopping the run and getting after the quarterback, his speed and everything. So he's a player that's continuing to rise right now in terms of the first and second year players at linebacker. Like he's really had a leap this year. And whenever I do this at the end of the year as well, because I'm going to do this at the end of the season, whenever it's over, kind of like grade all the young players. I think that's cool to do. Like, after a full season, how are young players doing? Trevor Wallace could be an A tier. If he continues this trajectory in terms of just, continuing to be sticky in coverage, like I think he's been better in coverage, honestly, than he's been in stopping the run and getting after the quarterback, which he has not been bad on. I mean, we still didn't get a sack last week. That was really, on the left tackle that let him get the sack, but he still got the sack, and he's made plays in the run game. There was times against the Bills when you watch the film that he's taking the wrong lanes. Like if he's gets smarter as a linebacker, his potential is so like through the roof. Okay, because there was times against the Bills that he had a lane like James Cook. If he just shot through the A gap, B gap, on a stretch route, a stretch run, there were plenty of times against the Bills that he had the opportunity to make a play, but he just missed the gap. But again, as a linebacker, second-year players, you go on in the NFL and learn different ways to stop the run. But the reason why he's up here in the B+ range is because of the fact that he's just is sticky in coverage. He's improved in that area so much, as a linebacker, because last year he was so bad. But he's been very good in coverage so far this season. If you turn the film on, it's simple. It's simply there. It's so obvious for Trevin. Yeah, I will give. Yeah, midway through the season, I'm gonna give y'all my little record prediction at the end of this for sure. I got you. And then Jimmy Horn, as I stated before, Jimmy Horn is definitely going to be that player, in my opinion, that could be also an A, just because of the fact that if you look at what he's done on the field, being that different type of player on the field in jet sweeps, running the ball, he's been getting open on big fourth down plays like last against the Bills with Andy Dalton when he overthrew him. He's getting open consistently. He's going to be such a good player for us next season, the year after. I think his potential, honestly, could be second best in terms of potential in this receiver room next to T-Mac in terms of potential as a receiver, being that obviously T-Mac's going to be on the outside for the future, and Jimmy Horn could be that slot guy in the future as well. I think Jimmy Horn's better just because of the size and everything, but I want to see more from Jalen Coker as well to stack games, right? I want to see more. Just like I say, XL needs to stack more games, Jalen Coker stack more games. Obviously, he just got off an injury. It's going to take time. He had 36 yards last week. I had a good game last week making plays, but I want to see more and more from the next couple of weeks. But Jimmy Horn as well, B+, could be in the A tier at the end of the season, really. I do have Shaw as a B. It's interesting because I think Shaw's been our second best corner this year. Like a lot of people aren't going to realize that, but Shaw's definitely been our second best corner this year. Mike Jackson's been booty really the last 4 weeks of the season, but Shaw's been consistent. Obviously, he's had some plays as a second-year player. He's going to have some plays that he gives up big plays, right? That's why he's not an A tier, and that's why he's not Trevor Wallace or Jimmy Horn level at the moment because of the fact that he gives up plays, okay? But he also makes plays, just like that pick six against the Falcons. You don't hear Shaw Smith wait a lot because of the fact that he's making plays and he's stopping guys from making big plays. But when you hear his name and you see, right, Shaw giving up big plays, it's because he's just not to where we want him to be right now, but when you're he was a fifth round pick, sixth round pick last year. He's where you want him to be as that late round pick, as a second year player. Like he's been solid this year. Okay, like he hasn't been amazing, but he's been solid. You don't hear his name a lot because he's not giving up the big play as much as you would think. People would say he is. Okay, if you turn the film on, if that makes sense. Next. 3 are going to be all rookies, but they're all going to be B- for me. Nick, Princely, and Trevor. Okay. And it's interesting because I think Princely's the better player overall. I think he's more polished. He only gets about 25% of snaps a game, which is so stupid. From Ojero Rivera, when Nick Scoring gets like over 60% of snaps a game. I don't care. Nick Scoring's been getting sacks last couple of weeks. It doesn't matter to me as much, but I do think if you turn the film on and you understand football, you realize that Nick Scoring sacks are kind of like not on him that much. Like if you really think of it, like if you look at the film, the Nick Scoring sacks are kind of, covered sacks, like the one against Josh Allen last week. That took 20 seconds to get that sack. That was not anything special from Nick Scoring. It was just Josh Allen went out the pocket because the coverage was amazing, and he got sacked in 10 seconds, 20 seconds because Nick Scoring just was there. Okay, I mean, that's really what his sacks are this year, right? I want to see more in terms of pass rush. The pass rush moves and skills are just not as close as Princely's is right now, which is why I have Princely there at B-. When he's out there, the 25% of snaps a game that Princely's out there, he's making plays, right? You can see the evidence of pass rush ability that Princely does have already as a rookie. But Nick Scorn's better against the run, right? Princey's not that good against the run right now, which is why I have them the same, because Nick Scorn's been very good against the run this year, which is why I have them literally B minus to the same. And Nick's been out there and he does have more sacks than Princey. No matter how he gets it, he has more sacks than Princey right now. Okay, so that's why I have them the same as B minus. But I think they're both trending in the right direction. I think Princey has more upside, especially with that pass rush. Once we get Ejiofor out of here, our next DC will notice that Princely is him, and we'll put him out there on the field more, right? Just like we're done with Damani, all those players. And then Trevor Etienne, I do have last year in this tier. Trevor Etienne, when given the opportunity, he only has 16 carries this year, but he has 94 yards. He's averaging 5.8 yards per carry right now, 4.8 yards per carry right now as a running back. Like, if there's a scenario, which I already said this earlier in the stream, that Chuba and Rico are not on the Panthers next year, going in next season with Jonathan Brooks and Trevor Etienne, you're fine. Like, you're literally okay in this room next season, because Jonathan Brooks is honestly your best, overall player. I think he's the most talented player in this room at running back. But he's just injured. Like, he's literally explosive. Like, he's so explosive. He's so good in the receiving game. Like, I don't know who he reminds me of, but it's a great player, is what Jonathan Brooks is. And then Trevor Etienne, again, he's not a C, he's a B minus. We're why he's not higher is because of his, we brought him in here. Obviously we used him in the beginning of the season to be a special teams ace, and he just has not been good on special teams. So he could be higher. Like, honestly, if he made some plays in special teams, he would be probably maybe an A minus. Like, that's how much the liability is in special teams so far. But in terms of running the football, averaging 4.8 yards per carry, in the time that he has, obviously it's a lot of garbage time when we're winning or not, all that stuff. But he's made plays, in the run game. Obviously averaging the 4.8 yards per carry. But that's my B tier. 1 second, let me get the last one up. But that's my B tier for sure for players. And again, this is one of the best last two drafts we've had in a long time. It's been a while since we've seen back-to-back years of, the potential of great young players. Okay, like Mitchell Evans, amazing. Obviously, him and T-Mac are my A tier. And then B tier, man, you got Trevor Wallace on the rise, Jimmy Horn as a rookie. He's barely played, but he's shown so much promise. Shaw Smith-Wade, obviously, you don't hear his name a lot, but as a corner, you don't want to hear his name a lot. Like, we know how good J.C. Horn is, but do we hear J.C. Horn's name every Sunday a lot unless he's getting an interception? No, because teams don't throw at him. Shaw Smith-Wade's been good. Princely, Nick, making their respective plays, but they're not there yet. They both have stuff to work on, which is why they're not an A tier or higher than B minus. And then Trevor Etienne has been solid as well in the run game. So that's my B tier. Let me know if you guys agree with all that so far. When it comes to the grades, it's very, very, very solid drafts the last two seasons. Okay, this is where we might get into some controversy. Okay, I had a tweet this week about Excel that people completely took the wrong way. I basically said I want to see more from our first round pick. I want more than 159 yards from our first round pick in 8 games. Okay. And people blasted me. And literally all I said was, it's better for this team if XL turns out to be good. Like, I want it to happen so bad, because if we can have T-Mac, XL, Coker, and Jimmy Horn all hit their potential, dude, this receiver room is like 2021 Teddy Bridgewater level good, with Sam Darnold. But it's that good in terms of that, that level with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel. It has that potential to be here like next season, year after, for example. I don't just hate Xavier Legette. I want him to be good. There's no reason for me to hate him. Like, there's no reason for me to hate him. Like, when we drafted up and got him in the first round, there was no hate. I actually liked the pick because I wanted AD Mitchell. He's not been good either in the NFL, but I wanted AD Mitchell, but I didn't hate Excel. Like, it was something where, he was athletic. So it was like, good pick, right? Good pick. But these are our last players. There's nobody in D tier, by the way. Nobody in D tier. I think who I think probably could be, and obviously Cam Jackson, I didn't rank because he's hurt. Jonathan Brooks didn't rank because he was hurt. I think the player that I could put in B tier, if I really have to put a player in B tier, it's either Lathan or JT. Because Lathan, I'm going to touch on Lathan here in a second, but going back to XL, Um, there's no hate. Like I want XL to be good. It's better for us in the future if he turns out to be, good and hit his potential and hit his stride as a receiver in this room. It's just going to be better for us. Okay. Um, but I want to see that stride. Okay. Like there's a reason why you're not getting targeted, right? Because you drop passes, you're not getting open that much. Like, yes, there's clips of him against the Bills and all that, him getting open and making plays, but that's your job. You got to be consistent. T-Mac, the reason why he gets the ball consistently is because he constantly beats his man in the line of scrimmage. Excel doesn't do that. There's plenty of clips against the Bills, which obviously I have film if you guys want to break it down, against the Bills, that he just stops in the middle of his route. But there's also plays that he beats his man off the line of scrimmage and gets open on a streak route, an out route. Like he has the potential to be good, but he's just not stringing games together. So when I say I want to see more than 159 yards for my second year first round pick, and people think I'm just being, I'm hating on him or I don't, I just don't like him, is stupid. Okay, it's stupid. Why would I not want him to be good? Because that just, does not help this team out at all if he's not good. But that's my rant on XL. He's a C plus because I want to see more, right? If he was a fifth round pick, I mean, him being second receiver in this room, I mean, he would probably be higher. But because he's a first round pick, that label does bring a lot. I mean, last season, didn't eclipse of 500 yards last season. I mean, come on. This season, you're at 159 in 8 games. I want to see more. If you're XL, you just have to see it. But before I put you in the B tier and the A tier. But Caleb, you said Lathan needs more reps. I'm going to touch on Lathan Ransom because I did say in the draft process when we did draft him, he was so bad in terms of open field tackling at Ohio State. He's very physical, and we see that already when it comes to tackling. His potential as a tackler is there, but he seems like a player that's so aggressive and just he wants to tackle so bad. He misses them. Like there's plenty of times season so far where he misses open field tackles. Lathan honestly has gotten a lot of reps. He's been at 90% of the snaps in a lot of games this year, but that's gone down. Against the Bills, he was like 60% of the snaps. Like he's starting to go down a little bit when it comes to reps. I don't know if it's because he's really a liability in coverage. Like the coverage game from Lathan Ransom right now is bad. Like it's bad. Like I think Damani could be better right now. I really do. And guess what? Lathan's a rookie. Like Lathan is a rookie. So I'm not going to sit here and bash him for coverage mistakes when we drafted him to be a strong safety. Like we're putting him in a battle role. Okay, Trevor Morg and Lathan Ransom are the same players, except obviously Trevor Morg is a little better, actually a lot better. But in terms of how they played safety, they're the same players. Okay, so we put him in the free safety role, which is not what he played at Ohio State as a rookie, when he should be playing in the box. Is why I thought we drafted him. So in terms of that sense, maybe it's unfair to put him in the C tier range. But what we've seen from him on the field and where he's been playing, he's been at a C tier level player this year, right? I think that's only fair to put him at. But in terms of getting more reps, he's honestly gotten a lot of reps, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my thought on Lathan. Hold on. My mic was tripping, so I had to fix it. But back to Lathan. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like overall, I want to see more. Okay, it's just that like he's been a liability in coverage and against the run and stuff like that. He hasn't really made an impact as well, so it's kind of hard to put him higher than a C tier level player right now. What's up, Rocky says thought Richardson could be something. Now I'm thinking the same with Thorin. Damani, I think he would be better than Lathan right now in the starting lineup at free safety because that's his natural role. And Core Thorin, I mean, with the snaps he's gotten, like he's not gotten a lot of snaps this year, but I think he could. Core Thorin's going to be fine. Like it's tough because honestly, corners is not a big position. You already have your slot with Shaw. You have 2 with Mike and JC. It's going to be hard to get out there if you're Core Thorin, but he's a talented player. Okay, like next season, if Mike Jackson's gone, for example, you could see him replace him. Like I think he has the opportunity to do that because he's that talented of a player, if that makes sense. But But with Damani, I thought Damani should have came in here. I thought Damani should have been the starter at the start of the season, but just not what he is, unfortunately. Stupid, bro. Hold on. But yeah, with Damani and Corey, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on Damani and Corey. Like, honestly, I could have put them both in here when it comes to young players because they're both technically second-year players, but they're undrafted. I'll honestly, and they haven't played enough to put in here because this is mid-season grades kind of for this season. But yeah. All right, so those are my grades. How do y'all feel about those? Y'all think some people should have been higher, lower? Obviously, Caleb, you've loved Lathan since the draft. I remember we did draft night, and you was happy when we got Lathan. But overall, though, I feel like those are my grades. Those are my grades. Again, there's lots to improve from all these players, but the potential of these two last draft classes with these, rookies and second-year players, it's so there. Like, it's so there. The potential. Dan Morgan really did a good job finding late-round gems with Mitchell Evans, Jimmy Horn this season, last season. Honestly, Trevor Wallace, if he turns out to be a player for this team in 5 years, that's one of the greatest picks really in the last decade plus of this franchise. Because the fact that everyone thought that pick was such a reach in the third round, and if he turns out to be that, really good, of like his potential, you can see it. Like this season, I feel like is really the first time, because last season he was so bad. But this season, you can see he's so fast as a linebacker, and if he just stays this good in coverage, just yeah, like the potential was there. Like he had the potential to be one of the best players on defense here in 2 years. I really think so with Derek Brown and JC. Like that's his potential. And you guys know that. Like I've made 2 videos on him now on the channel. So one of my biggest video is Trevor Wallace. It has like 6,000 views on it. When I did his college tape, like I was actually a fan of the pick because of the fact that he has the athleticism. He's one of my players I'm rooting for when it comes to just the young players, just in general. So Trizzy says, facts. I thought Richardson would be the starter based off his tape from last season. Yeah. I mean, Damani was very good last season, to be honest with you. Like he deserved the chance to start, but I get it. When you bring in that athletic freak of Lathan Ransom, it's just you're playing him in the wrong position. Like it's kind of that's Ajero Vero's wrongdoing. Like he's making so many mistakes. Like this defense is already top 11 right now. Like he's already what we're talking about. Like he's already top. Like we're already at top 11 on defense, is what I was trying to say. But like, imagine if he did not put Trevor Morgan on tight ends. He's obvious he can't do it. And imagine he just played the right players and just figured out the players that are actually good for his, defense. Clearly, he's not doing a bad job. It's just, I think, personnel's his problem. Like, not letting JC travel, allowing Mike Jackson to get burnt 3 straight weeks by the best receivers in the NFL. That's Ajero Vero's problems. Is why we're not a top 7 all defense right now. Like, really, that's really why we're not a top 7 defense right now. And we're top 11 because of that reason. But yeah, Damani should be starting right now, to be honest with you. I think because we have Trevor Morgan, who's playing that Lathan Ransom role, why are you putting a rookie who we drafted to be in the box and you're putting him in coverage when he did none of that at Ohio State? Like he was his best in the box and stopping the run, and we're putting him just not in that role. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, thank God Mike is good, bro. It's actually making me mad. Keeps keeps lagging out. But I think I was good. Rock says, "Did I miss the kicker?" You talking about the kicker like Ryan Fitzgerald? We're talking about. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. I'm actually curious. Let me look at the injury report for the Panthers. So we can kind of give you guys an update if you guys didn't see it earlier. Let me see. All right. Wow, it's so beautiful to see. Amazing. Bryce Young's playing. Yes, sir. Let me see. Injury report. All right, here's that injury report for y'all. Derek Brown, good to go. Andy Dalton's questionable. We don't care. He can be out. Is all we care. Jimmy, okay, XL's going to play, and Jimmy Horn's going to play as well. Damian Lewis is questionable. Cade Mays was out. Out. Princely's out. But based off a snap count, it really is not going to matter because we've not played Princely that much as we should. But he is out. Trevor is questionable. I think we're going to need him, honestly, because I mean, if he's not out there, we're going to be playing some bums like Boogie Basham out there, right? I mean, who would be next up at linebacker? It would be Clone Sherless, right? Unless we trying to see. I don't know. Yeah, it would be Claudin next. I don't want it, bro. I don't want to see Claudin Sherless as my starting linebacker next to Christian Roseboom on Sunday. I don't want to see that. I would actually kill myself. Nick Scott's questionable. I mean, whatever. Taylor Moan, we need him out there. Like the players we need out there are Taylor Moan and Damian Lewis. We need them to play. And obviously, Bryce is good. Chandler Zavala has been trash since he's been in the league. So, don't really care about that either. But yeah. All good. It's not terrible. Obviously, the offensive line is very beat up when it comes to the injury report. It's getting bad with the offensive line, but yeah, you're talking about Ryan Fitzgerald. Yeah, I mean he's been solid. It's been solid. Obviously, Eddie Pinheiro decided to lead the team and just go crazy, but yeah, Ryan Fitzgerald's been fairly solid for sure. Hold on. But yeah, and yeah, we actually didn't touch Bryce on this stream, but Bryce is back. QB1's back. It's going to allow us to do what we need to do on offense. I think personally, I think he's going to be what we need on offense. Back because obviously it's so obvious too. Like Bryce is really last week kind of showed us that Bryce, is a big factor in this offense. No matter if he's throwing for 150 yards or 350 yards, he is a big factor because he makes plays. Like this year, he's making plays. So, yeah, I'm glad that he's back for sure. But injury report's not bad. Offensive line is banged up. A lot of people are like, "Don't start Bryce because offensive line sucks." Bryce, the reason why Bryce is here is because he can use his legs. I want to see him use them more, but like that's the reason why he's so good is because he can use those legs. But yeah, again, young players been solid. My score prediction for this game, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think we're gonna lose this game. I think we're gonna lose this game just because we're in Lambeau. It's just gonna be tough, man. If we win this game, though, this team's different. But I don't know. And then KW says you want me to do a little prediction to end the season off, kind of what I think off the top of my head, what we're gonna do for the rest of the season. Let me see. Let me share this with y'all. I'll share the schedule with y'all real quick. All right, here we go. It's up. All right, we ended with Green Bay. I'm saying that's a loss. Saints W. So right now that's 5-5. The Falcons 6-5. I don't care. We're not losing the Falcons. The Niners. Okay, so right now we're 6-5. The Niners on the road. Man, I do think we can split these two games, but it sucks because you're. I'm not gonna lie, we're not beating the Rams, so that's 6-6. So it's like, are we gonna beat the Niners? It's tough, actually. I think we can. I think we can. You know what? 7-6. 8-6. The Bucks. That's an L. I think we're losing the Bucks twice. So yeah, that last 3 games are tough. So I think we can go 9-8 or 8-9, just depending on how those last 3 games go. Rock says 8-9. Fair. Very fair. Very fair. I probably think that's why what I'll predict too at the moment is 8-9. It just depends. Honestly, I'm giving us that Rams game. That could be a loss. And I'm saying we probably go 0-3 the last 3 games, but I could see us getting a win. Against the Bucks at home, and also we get the Seahawks at home as well. But I don't know how we match up against those teams. Seahawks, I feel like we match up better. If you put JC on JSN, we should be fine. But knowing that Mike is going to be on him 80% of the snaps, so 8-9 is fair. I think we could maybe get 9 wins. I think that's probably where I would go, 8-10 maybe. But yeah. That's going, 1 second. That is going to wrap the stream up for y'all. We're on here for an hour, man. I enjoy doing these lives with y'all. Y'all be hooking me up with some questions, some comments, allowing us to keep going. So I'm going to be out here. But I'm going to be back here Sunday. After we get this win on Sunday, I'm going to be back and going crazy with y'all. Right? Every single one of y'all, we're going to be back on Sunday after that W against the Packers. But the Monty's Mouse gets hot, playoffs. Hey, I really hope so. If we make the playoffs, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be hype. I'm gonna be hype. I'm gonna be turned. But yeah, we're gonna be back here Sunday. Hop back on stream. I don't want to lose. Like, if we win this game, it's gonna be hype. It's gonna be hype. But appreciate y'all, Caleb, Rock, and Trizzy, all y'all showing up in here. We gonna keep grinding. Good stuff to this channel coming soon. Just being consistent as well. All that. Appreciate y'all. Tyrone. Me? No, I'm playing. But yeah, we're gonna head out. I'm gonna see y'all Sunday. Hopefully get this W and